Sup, dog? It is I, JDC, I drink whiskey, and here I am with the Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban, a delicious blending together of Scotch and Portuguese. And I will be tasting the Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban in just a few moments. Yes, that is right. Today I am tasting the Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban. I have already tasted on this channel the Glenmorangie Original. In this particular bottle, it's done the 10 years that the original has. And then for this bottling, it has been transferred, that whiskey has been transferred into port export casks and allowed to mature a further 2 years, so giving them a port finish. Quinta Ruban. So the Ruban is the Gaelic for ruby, and as you can see behind me, and as you will see when I pour some out, it does indeed have a bit of a ruby glow to it. The word quintas is Portuguese, sort of like estate, but in particular the connotation is like a wine estate. I'm going to announce my biases right at the start here. This is one of my favorites for very sentimental reasons. As I was first getting into whiskey, this was probably the first really, good whiskey I tried, that wasn't just a blend. And my mother got me this for Christmas last year to sort of help kickstart my whiskey obsession. It's a lot of sentimental value for me, so that might be clouding my judgment as I sample this whiskey for you. Let's turn around, have a look at the bottle, and see what we're dealing with. The Quintas, or wine estates of Portugal, provide the ruby port casks for this velvety textured Glenmorangie. Ruben is the Gaelic for ruby. So the whiskey details, the Glenmorangie comes from the Highlands. It has been aged for 12 years. It has an ABV of 46%. It is not chill filtered and it is not artificially coloured. Now you might think the ruby colouring is probably the residue of the port that is in the barrels. Well, maybe a little bit, but predominantly where whiskies get their colour is from the wood. Bearing in mind that the stuff that goes into the barrel is usually clear, and if the barrels are good, when it comes out of the barrels after maturation, they will have developed a colouring. I have spoken about this dram to a couple of friends who are more into port than I am, and they've said that, well, the port barrels used aren't particularly stellar. It still gives you that idea of what a port cask finish should taste like. I'm not a huge port drinker, so I'm probably not going to notice that nuance. Kind of a sweet white wine. Kind of clovey, like cloves smell in the cork. It's very well done, very complex, very complicated. So there's definitely dark fruits, sweetness, oranges, spiciness, a little bit of mint, a hint of chocolate. The nose is really wonderful. Really, you could nose this for a good 20 minutes before having your first sip. So there's an initial creaminess, chocolates, then you get a hit of spice. Then as it fades, now getting those oranges, sweet oranges, dark chocolate, a touch of mint. So I'm getting a taste now of nuts, like walnuts. And the dark chocolate, which wasn't too bitter to start off with, has now kind of turned into a milk chocolatey taste. It's very good. It's very good. Again, this is one of my favorites, so bear that in mind. I would say it's a long finish. with a little bit of oakiness coming through now, with a few departing spices, a bit peppery. The 46% alcohol gives it a bit of a creaminess, so it feels very oily and creamy in the mouth. It's just very nice. Very good indeed. So, as I say, as it stands at the moment, this would be one of my favorites, and I would even go so far as to say that this drop is outstanding. So I love it. Drinking it makes me think of Christmas a little bit, probably because it was a Christmas gift. Very good, very good. I do understand there are some bottles out there where the port casks are a bit more selective. So the port was of a higher quality than here. But this is a very, very nice drop. It retails in Australia for around about the $90 to $100 mark, usually closer to 90. And yeah, I think it's worth a look. I mean, if that flavor profile appeals to you, definitely get this, because it packs a punch. Those flavors are really strong. The nose is very complex. It's very exciting, and there's always something new each time you bring it up for a nose. There's always something new with each taste. Well, thank you so much. If you've enjoyed this review and would like to see more, you can give me a thumbs up, or you can push the subscribe button. That's the one that really gives me a thrill. They're multiplying. And I look forward to tasting another whiskey for all you salty Portuguese sea dogs very, very soon.